Toyota has brought the Crown back to the United States for the first time in 50 years as kind of like this tall lifted sedan thing, kind of like a Honda Cross Tour of years past. But Akio Toyoda, former president of Toyota, mentioned that, hey, no, there's not just one Crown, there's actually 4 Crowns, and United States are going to be lucky to get any of them. However, Japan's going to be getting all of them, and they just released more information on the remaining 3 Crown models that are amazingly designed and would fit our market so much better than the controversial Crown. I know it's a good car. I drove it. It's kind of like a lifted Lexus ES in some ways, but I would love to have these additional options as well. So let's get on over to the press room from the Global Toyota page. 3 new Crowns, additional information revealed. On April 12th, Toyota will release additional information on the 3 new Crowns. Well, it's April 12th right now. The Sport Sedan and the Estate following the Crown crossover. Now, the Crown crossover, that's what they call the same Crown that we call a sedan here in the States. It's really confusing. But they will update the existing Crown special site and publish the powertrain and design main vehicle information as follows. So we'll go to that website here in a little bit, but we have some details in terms of the powertrains as well as the overall dimensions of these vehicles. To give you an idea, a RAV4 is around 4,600 millimeters, and that can be the basis of kind of the vehicle sizes we're seeing here. All these vehicles are longer than the RAV4. So we have the sports model, which is kind of like this Porsche Macan looking gorgeous vehicle. That is going to be the shortest of them all. They're all about the same width, with the sedan being the widest by just 10 millimeters. The sedan is also the shortest, no surprise, with the Estate being the tallest, and the capacity is all 5 people across here. Now, look at the powertrains. The sedan is essentially the next Mirai. So there's a possibility we could be getting it here in the United States to retire the Mirai. Is it possible the Mirai and the sedan Crown could coexist in Japan? Absolutely, because their market is going to be just the infrastructure for hydrogen is going to be so much better there than it is here. So that's pretty cool and very interesting. But check out the sports model. It's going to be a hybrid, the 2.5 liter hybrid essentially that we have in the Crown, which gets you over 40 miles per gallon, around 240 horsepower, somewhere around there. But the plug-in hybrid, also known as the Prime, a sports prime model, would be coming with over 300 horsepower and let's say around 400 miles of EV range. The sports SUV as well as the sedan is coming this year, autumn of 2023, and then the plug-in hybrid is coming winter of 2023 for the sports. All we know for both of these models, at least for the fuel cell and the hybrid, it's coming autumn of 2023. So that would be pretty cool if we get the sedan here as a hybrid. That's the one I want the most, but I think the 2 that would do the best here in the market are not the one they brought here already, nor the sedan, even though the sedan should just become here as a Lexus. The sports model and the Estate would do amazing. And the Estate model isn't coming out till 2024, but guess what? They're also going to have a plug-in hybrid model of it. Oh man, here's the thing. It would be more expensive than a RAV4 plug-in hybrid. And so you're essentially in Lexus NX and RX plug-in hybrid territory pricing as well. So as much as I'd love to see all of these models come, I just don't see Toyota doing it. And the rumor mill saying is the Estate is the next one to come to the United States, but take that with a grain of salt. And just because Japan is getting a plug-in hybrid of it doesn't mean we are. Look, in Japan, they get the Venza as an optional plug-in hybrid now, and its sales of the Venza are taking so far this year. I think it's just because of the mass variety within the Toyota and Lexus hybrid crossover lineup that the Venza, they just don't need to export it here if they don't need to. Here's like their little Crown museum over there in Japan. I don't read Japanese, obviously, but here we have the Crown Sport looking great. We have the Crown Sedan. Oh, this is a cool website. Oh man, just looks so good. Put a Lexus badge in here, rework the grill, maybe a smidgen to make it a spindle grill, and yeah, bring back the GS. And then here's the latest images of the Crown Estate. This is the one I think most people would be interested here in the United States. And here is the already existing Crown. Very unique design. If you want to stand out, if you want a sedan that sits up higher, if you want great efficiency and power with the Hybrid Max option, that all has it. Now, what's interesting, if we go back to the website, remember, none of these say hybrid max or anything like that. So does this just mean they're all getting the 2.5-liter hybrid and not the 2.4-liter hybrid turbo hybrid, the hybrid max setup with around 340 horsepower? I wouldn't rule it out, especially if these come to the United States market. I think the hybrid max would be a more likely powertrain option for a Crown Estate if it were to come here than, let's say, a Crown plug-in hybrid. We also have new images here that they posted with a cool, I don't know, it almost reminds me of like a conveyor belt sushi going on right now, which I could go for. Oh, that sounds really good, even though it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So let me know which Crown you want to come to the United States. Do you want the sedan? Do you want the Sport? I mean, remember, the Sport was first shown to us as a battery electric vehicle in late 2021 when Akio Toyota had the EV showcase. So I wouldn't be surprised in the near future that they come out with a battery electric variant of the Crown Sports. That would be amazing. I think it looks great. I think all of them look great, with the exception of the base Crown that we already have here. I just don't know what to think of it. I don't like the two-tone on it, but I have met people that really like the two-tone on it. So it's good to have a Crown for essentially every taste. The sedan to me is the most like mouth-watering. Then the Crown Sports behind it, and then the Crown Estate, and then the normal Crown, the Crown Sedan-ish, that's what it's called here. So let me know which Crown hierarchy 1 through 4, if you had the option, which ones you would be taking and which powertrains. We got a few more images here, kind of like a close-up of the headlight, kind of like this certain angle of all the different, oh man, it looks good in blue. I love those wheels. Maybe a little bit more aggressive than the current Mirai wheels, or more turbine-like. They look really cool. And here's the thing, I would love for the Crown in the United States to have the Crown logo. That's what makes it super unique. And an ordinary Toyota logo doesn't make it super unique. It almost reminds me of like Acura killing off the Legend, the Integra, but they brought the Integra badge back. But they killed off the Legend, as well as like the Vigor and other names in the lineup that had more power than the Acura brand. And that's what I feel like Toyota would be scared of here in the United States, branding these as with the Crown badge, because it would be more powerful and it's threatening to the already well-known Toyota badge. But the Crown badge is just badass. That's all I can say. Here's the Crown Sport. And man, with the most images of the Crown Sport, obviously this is the one coming next, coming fall of this year. Is this a missing fog light? I don't know what's going on there. That seems a bit strange, unless that is like the radar cruise sensor, but that looks like that's right here. So, but let's get into the interior. I believe this is the interior of the sedan. We have the centralized volume knob, and really Toyota is doing a carryover of what's already existing in the Crown that we already have in production. The interior pretty much looks identical. Obviously, it's flip-flopped because it's the right-hand drive Japanese market, but it really looks so much. Actually, this is the Estate, because all the seats are folded down. But it lets you know the amount of cargo space in here. And I know it's just a rendering, but it looks very Lexus RZ-like, because a Lexus RZ has a lot of suede in the luxury trim, and the vibes I'm getting as we go back here almost looks like we have suede on here. This looks like suede on the door panels. This looks maybe leather on the back of the seat with that sort of reflection. Obviously these are renders, but this looks like a high quality suede around the wheel arches. And then what do you guys think of this leather? I think it's cool. It's not one color. It's a little rustic, with this kind of brownish color on the inside. I'm digging it. It looks really, really cool. But let's get on over to the next one. This has to be the sedan, actually the rear wheel drive sedan, and that's why they can make a fuel cell out of it, because the Mirai is rear wheel drive, right? And we have sunshades in the back. We actually have real wood. We have this little, I don't know if this is going to be an actual screen. It actually looks like this will be a screen, kind of like old GSs in certain markets, as well as the LS has a screen back there for VIP guests. This is going to be your cup holder as well. The seats aren't nearly as ornate as something like you would see in a Lexus LS, but does look cozy back there. All right, here's a cutaway at the side of the vehicle. Don't know what else to say about that. Oh my gosh, look at that detail. Here's the thing, they're not going to bring this to the market. Where are they going to put a Toyota badge there? That's not balling out of control or anything. This looks great. I love the wood on top of it. You have a couple USB-Cs back there. Of course, huge drivetrain tunnel because of the hydrogen fuel cell stacks, or not stacks, but tanks that will go in there. But I guess they have a nighttime. Okay, here's the thing. When I first saw this, I said, this looks like armpit ambient lighting, right where the doors close. Armpit ambient lighting, Toyota's trademarking it here with the Crown Sedan. We have it right here underneath the I guess the HVAC controls. It's an interesting place. Maybe you have a wireless phone charger area back there as well, but keeps the wood illuminated at night. And you know, that's one of the benefits of getting the Crown Sedan at that point. Now, this is the Crown Sport. Obviously, we have some memory seat button cutouts here. And very minimal, like where the button lock button, or the door lock button, where the door lock buttons, all we have is just a single window switch here. That's because this is the opposite sign. This is the right-hand drive market. So your, door lock controls are going to be on the other side. But here's the thing. Aren't door lock controls typically on each side? If I remember right, I could be wrong. This is, of course, a sport model because we have the very aggressive red and black, like we have on a little bit like we have on the Prius XSE plug-in Prime models. There's a close-up of the shifter. It should be the exact same shifter that we already have in the Crown. Red stitching, red accent here, and yeah, just check out the Crown logo in black, because it's more aggressive as the sport model. Let's see here. The seats are also more aggressive, a unique design, little cutout here around the shoulders. It can fit golf bags for you guys wondering out there. And that's about it. That's all they have to show for the interiors. And I think I'm out of images, and I think I'm out of media here. Yeah, that's also the rumored Crown sedan and convertible that could come eventually, but who knows if it would ever come to the market. And if it does, unlikely for America. So this is an unexpected update from Toyota in terms of the Crown. And here's the thing. I'll say it again. I don't want to get my hopes up for any of the models coming to America. I would love for the Crown Estate, the Crown Sedan, and the Crown Sport to fill up the Crown lineup here in America. The problem is that the Crown Crossover, is what they call it, already is infringing into Lexus pricing and close to Lexus quality. I'm not saying build quality, but when it comes to the materials, the Crown, I didn't feel like the Crown was quite as luxurious as like a Lexus ES on the inside. But as of right now, let's say the Crown offers all-wheel drive as a hybrid. The ES does not. And the Crown also offers a hybrid max powertrain where the ES does not. The ES has, all-wheel drive as a non-hybrid, and it also has the V6. But for how much longer, it's very, I think the new Camry is going to tell a whole lot of where Toyota sedans are going with hybridization if the current Crown sedan already hasn't. So, I can't wait to see you guys comment down below. I think that the Crown front end of this estate actually looks a little bit different. I'm going to pull the image up that we have here to see how much it's actually changed. The wheels have changed. Let's make this a little bit smaller. The wheels have changed, but that's really about it. I mean, the overall design here, I guess they've put in fog lights here that are a little bit more production ready. But overall, the grille is about the same. It's not quite as detailed as we see here on the Crown Estate. But, if they come out with a plug-in hybrid, maybe the plug-in hybrid grille is a little bit different. But really, it's spot on to the renders we've got in the past of the Crown before we got this more production-ready render here. The Crown Sport, I believe this is the exact same render we've already had in the past. So this design has been finalized a little bit earlier compared to the rest. And that makes sense, especially because the Estate is coming to the market in 2024 and this Sport model is coming in 2023. Also coming to market in 2023 is this 6 sedan, kind of like the Lexus GS successor in some ways, like the Mirai is. I really don't see any differences in terms of the production version, which I'm assuming that it's down here is a production version, and then what we see of this probably a clay model up here. Like, it looks identical from what I can tell, and that is a very good thing because this thing is a design home run. Guess we have a couple more images that Toyota released, not today, but in the past with this Crown sedan. This is the one I guess this might be the exact same render here that we've had in the past. They just kind of deleted the background. So, oof, Crown sedan, come to the United States, badge it as a Lexus for all I care. Even if it's like, man, I don't want it as a fuel cell here because that means it's unobtainium for the masses, but it looks so good. And since the Lexus GS has left the Lexus lineup, there's been a gap. We don't expect a rear-wheel drive front-engine sedan in the Toyota lineup, but this would come to the market as the next Lexus GS, but that's wishful thinking. That's just my own selfish desires, but I know a lot of people would be happy if this was a Lexus GS. But all right, I got to wrap it up there. Thank you guys for watching. A lot of thoughts and wishes going out for the Crown. Hoping all these models come to the States. It's best to guard our hearts a little bit, not get our hopes up for any of these models coming to the United States. And the sad thing is like Toyota's like, well, you know, maybe we're gauging receptibility on the current Crown model. And depending on how well that does, we will bring in some more Crown models. But the problem is they brought the least desirable Crown to the market first, in my opinion, and that doesn't spell well for the introduction of these additional sexy models into the US lineup. If you also own a Crown, I know a few of you do out there, let me know what your ownership experience is like. These things are built in Japan. I'm sure they're extremely well built and reliable. And I'd love to hear your short-term ownership experience of the Crown crossover is what they call it in Japan. But thank you guys for watching. I probably said that 100 times. If you made it this far in the video, God bless you. Smash the like button. If not for me, for the Toyota Crown. If we get enough likes, maybe somehow, some way, Toyota will send these Crowns to the United States. Thank you for watching and peace.